if you're using in this way awareness, it's dynamical, it's become practical.
It was very absurd. I was 8 years old.
Your energy.
Certain different functions, different levels in ourselves.
My name is Ville Jehe. I'm a member of Lilleoru for 11 years. I have known Ingvar Ville for 11 plus 22, 33 years. So we had some contacts already like 89 for 2 years, participated similar courses, and then I went to make some companies. So my background is business, and he started Lilleoru. So then we our roads divided, and after 20 years of division, I got back here again, and I found out that the techniques and approach to the person and the setup of a human being he has reached was so interesting. And so I started to study. And what happened? Do you have any business background? Then I'm sure that in every successful person in business uses some kind of techniques, internal techniques. Having been in contact with yoga or not, it doesn't matter at all. But everybody uses some techniques. Otherwise, it's not possible to succeed in any project. So what I had gathered something from yoga, a lot from martial arts, a lot from business, international teachings. I went through MBA and 2 other universities. So I had my toolbox. My first education is as engineer, so please understand that I use really technical approach. But this is really clear, and I have found many people who like the same approach. So I name it as toolbox. So every person has, at least my age, has some kind of toolbox, how to approach your bad situations, your bad emotions, some thoughts which are not helping you, but actually keeping you from doing the things what you like or what you want or what you need. So I had my toolbox. And when I came back here, 11 years ago, then I found that Ingvar has found some tools which were much more effective than anything of those what I used so far. So when I had the first contact with him again, in 2 years I changed 70-80% of my tools, how I'm arranging myself and my companies and my life to the new ones. And now at that moment, 10-11 years ago, it wasn't even branded. So probably you know, or some of you know, that Ingvar went through very long learning curve from Indian culture, from shamanistic culture, from native cultures of different countries, including Estonian, then Hinduistic, Buddhistic, for a long time, 15 years, he's educated as Buddhist as well. And gathering from all those different cultures, he designed this toolbox, what we name now Art of Conscious Change. So this is the set of the tools branded this way. And now already 10 years, it's not kept only inside of Lilleoru or inside of people who like to look on life as you do, but we took it to the cities, we took it to other countries, and now this is teach to just ordinary people. They are elderly people, they are youngsters, they are students, they are businessmen, they are so everybody. So so this art of conscious change is the thing then what Ingvar started to teach 10 years ago, and 4 years ago he asked me to concentrate more on business side. So my daily life today is that 70% of my time I I dedicate to my family and my businesses. These are all my children, yeah. So my children and my wife, and 30% of my time goes to teach the art of conscious change already for 3-4 years now. So every week I have some kind of lectures, not only for businesses, but in university, in Estonian Art University, for students, in business university, for business students, and of course to businesses as well. And here I was asked to tell you about more about mental side. But before that, if we should make agreements. You know, business world is about agreements. So let's agree what we do with those things we have in pockets. Or maybe you are like Gunter Pauli. You know who is Gunter Pauli? He was here, he left yesterday, and he is like running 8 business today, but all the total account is 200, and he doesn't have phone from 94. This is a really interesting fact about him. So he don't want to be disturbed when others think that they need him. He wants to make his own decisions. So actually I use it as a small computer, so I'm quite similar with him. I have educated all my partners not to call me, but send emails. But anyway, in case somebody like misunderstood me, then they could call, so please switch them off. Or at least if you put them on vibration, then please be sure that the place you put them is not this table, for example. Because I think at least in businesses, everybody has attended some meetings where there are phones on vibration on the table. So what is the sound? Exactly the same as ringing. No difference. So it will disturb everybody. So make sure that this will not disturb anybody, because I'm really practical on my approach, and today we go through at least 6, 7, it depends how fast we go, different techniques. So there will be like concentration and techniques about your mentality, if you agree. If you don't agree, then you just don't do them together with others. It's okay. I don't care. So please be sure that no phones will be ringing here. So you don't disturb others, and you will lose your attention as well. So this technique or exercise, what can be new for you, will be lost. Is that agreement? Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. So just few words about what field we will approach today. So, like I said, this name is Art of Conscious Change. This is the whole system. And if I would describe it really easily, like in few words, then actually the system is using some roots from Vipassana. So some of you know. So this is like monitoring what is happening. And in Vipassana, it's very important to understand that there is physical body. So maybe my head is like burning, or what my finger is hurting. So this is physical body. The signals for physical body. My physical body can be really tense, can be relaxed, but this is all physical plane. But there are other planes. Other plane is, what other planes you think there could be? With what is not physical?
Emotional.
Emotional, yes. This is actually the second one. It's connected to physical because it's influenced physical, right? If you have very excessive emotions, then your physical body will change. They even monitor it from, this truth kind of equipment. They monitor physical body to know what you think and what are your emotions. But because they cannot monitor or sense emotion directly, because there is no sensor in the world right now to measure your emotion. I'm engineer, I know. I have like looking all the fields of study and scientists, and they still don't have it because this is quite a higher level of energy, and they always measure it from through physical body, not directly. It's not possible. So second plane is emotional plane, and this should be monitored separately. But people very often mix. For example, in Estonia we say that Estonian men, if you ask that how you're feeling, and if he's honest, he will say that mul on sitt olla. In English it's that I feel so and so. So this is mix of physical and emotional. They don't even like recognize what is physical part of it. Is it like kind of thing I had for breakfast which wasn't very fresh, and it's like I feeling it. This is physical, right? But feeling that this is again all the mornings are the same. So this is already emotional, right? So they are mixed. But there is big benefit if you could monitor them separately, because they are separate things. What can be other kind of level what you use every day? Mental. And now there is confusion in mental. I don't know what is your home language, but this is total confusion in definitions. So what is mental? What is emotional? What is full? Have you heard? You should be full-hearted. You should be centered. You should be mindful. You should be, if we translate it to Estonian, then mindfulness means that your mind is completely full. So this means just opposite to what mindfulness is, right? So it's a big confusion. But yes, I agree that the third level, what is very important is mental, the thinking process. Even mental is translated in different languages really badly. In Estonian, mental is translated as senses too. But senses are emotional senses and physical senses in English. So this is complete confusion. So today, so one thing what is very important is this actual conscious change is using, actually it's in, do you know Vedas? In Vedas, there is, the human nature is described in different levels. And the easiest approach to human kind of construction is to describe it in 5 levels. And in Art of Conscious Change, we use 5-level system or 5-plane system, where number 1 is physical, number 2 is emotional, number 3 is mental, number 4 is intellectual, and number 5 is your true self. If probably you have heard that there is 6-body system as well, or 6-plane system, it's the same. Actually, there are 2 different kind of 6-body system. There is one where your true self is split into 2. One is your individual true self, and another one is already with, this is the one we all have the same. So if you have, for example, you do techniques to have your true self on individual level, then this is completely different than you go one step more and you actually lose all the individuality. And then if you read some books, you can see that there is confusion again, because some people describe your true self as this individual part, others as these wholenesses. So, but just this is a small description. There's another way to split this 5-level system.
Will you explain
Yes.
the difference between mental and intellectual?
Yes, and today is about this. This is the biggest, for those people who are not fully emotional, like if emotions comes, then this is all gone. So I am only this or like this or whatever. Then for those people, actually, we couldn't help much before they calm their emotions down. But the biggest step the human being can do is to start to treat mental and intellectual separately. This is a very important thing. And this is about illusions. In one they are illusions, in other they are insights. And if you don't mix them, your life will get like completely different level. But let's go back to beginning. So we use this 5-plane system or 5-body system. Some people don't like body because they know only physical body and they think that, oh, I have only one and he has 5, so he thinks that he's better than me, and then the lecture is over. But for you, I think it's not the problem. So the first one was physical. Second one was emotional. We call it, in Estonia, we call it vital. But again, some people who have read many books about vitality, then this is confusion again. So, but you understand what I mean here. This is the level where the emotional energies are flowing, and there are no sensors for them. The only sensor is you. Only you can feel them. Sometimes the people around you can feel your emotions too. So people can be sensors of emotional energy, but there is no scientist cannot measure them directly. They measure it always through physical body, because emotional body is influencing physical body, and you know that, right? Then third one was, let's call it mental here. But here where the thinking is going on. Is thinking different than emotions? How you feel the influence between them? Can thinking influence emotions? 100% right. Can emotions influence thinking? Yeah, you think so, but actually it's not true. But we can test it. So thinking is always first, and then emotions come. Emotion can come from like mirroring from your people around you without thinking, but your emotion will not accelerate your thinking. The thought is first, and that's why this lecture is important. If you control your thoughts, or you be empty of thoughts, you control your physical and emotional body, all other energies. And then there is, we call it intellectual body or intellect. And here is the biggest confusion in the world. I think with most scientists, at least if we go whatever university in the world, then at least in psychology department, they agree that yes, people have physical body, then they have emotional side, and then they have this thinking side. So all scientists even agree. But here is a big difference. They usually take those two levels together. But there is a very important line, because I would say these two levels is what animal. You agree? Really minimum thinking process. If you add thinking, then you are like human. But if you add intellect, then you have another level. So some people are only mental. You have seen them. So they can have lot of knowledge. They you know some people like this. Those you go to some birthday party, have some gathering, and whatever subject there is, you let them talk. They talk blah 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 blah, and then somebody else says, "Oh, I heard this. Yes, I know," and he knows about that as well. And again, you can like spend like 2 hours to just listen to him. This is like usually pure mental activity. But about intellect, for example, to understand that nobody is listening to you, that nobody is interested, that you talk so much, that you talked already too long, that you have to listen to others. This is not the mental person on mental plane only will not sense that. And that's why those people are really like alone. The biggest or the easiest, have you met them? If you have some like party, then they talk like we are free, and for example, you're not, but let's assume that you are this mental body. I start to talk something and you, yes, I know. And after like 10 minutes, only he is talking. And what others are doing? She probably will lie that she has to go to toilet. And I will say that I will refill my glass or whatever. So he will be alone. And then he finds some new customers. and hearing what they are talking, and then again it goes. So always like this. And they can be scientists, they can be like really educated professors in university, but they are usually on the mental side. Have you heard about Albert Einstein? Yes. Of course. Do you know that Einstein wasn't accepted as scientist in among scientists? And this wasn't because of his hair. It was different as well. It wasn't because he had the clothes were like a bit sloppy and different as well. It wasn't because of that. It was because he teased he friend the scientist in the way that do you really think that this is all should be like a mental level only? He teased that he asked that if you like find out something or discover some new thing, then do you really think that you think about it and then it came from your thinking process? And here was the conflict, because he knew that this is not everything new is not coming from mental level, but there is another one. And if you are powerful here, then actually this is working against your intellect. So here is the limit. If one is active, then other one is suppressed. Yes?
So what you're saying is you would make the distinction that intellect is the capacity to think about thinking.
To monitor your thinking, not think about thinking. Because in intellect there is no thinking. Let me take another question and then I explain.
For people who are like this, is it possible to develop and start using the intellect and notice what happens?
Yes.
They are not lost cases.
Yes, of course not. Of course not. And of course they are using intellect. But I give you example. In physical level, we are used that if we want our physical body better, you have to do what? Exercise. Yes, exercise. At least move, but this is exercise too. So you have to exercise. You cannot just like sit and wait that, oh, my body weight is like 5 kilograms too much, but hopefully it goes away. It's not enough. You have to exercise. In emotional body, for example, if you're very emotional, then what you should do?
Calm down.
Yes, but you can calm down with emotions. It's very easy. The easiest technique against emotion is what? To wait. Just wait. It goes over. Nobody can be angry like 2 hours because it's so energy consuming. He will die after like 30 minutes if it's like 100% anger, because there is so much energy in your body. But so there are some techniques and exercises you have to do to learn how to get over this anger quicker, or even to avoid that anger will come, or avoid that anger can be, you know that anger can be, sometimes anger in us is like 5% of maximum, right? It can be 1% of maximum, and sometimes it goes 100, right? Just think what can be the change in your life if it's 1% all the time. So there's only impulse. Because you never love to be angry, right? You never like the results you create if you're angry. So there are techniques. So you have to exercise to do that. And in mental body it's the same. So here, if you want to get better, you have to do exercises in both sides. In intellect side there are techniques, and in mental side there are techniques. Mainly in mental side there is, for example, in Buddhism there are a lot of techniques about correcting your mentality, to calm down your mentality, not emotions but mentality. So actually in definition, meditation. Have you tried meditation? So meditation in definition, just like 95% of meditation techniques are dedicated to correct and calm down your mentality. And breathing techniques, pranayamas, have you tried them? They are designed mostly for what kind of level here? What is the first influence they do?
Physical.
Are you sure? Physical and emotional. Mainly emotional. Because pranayama means prana is energy, yama is change or technique in Sanskrit. So actually pranayama means Predictive techniques means technique to do something with energy, and energy is emotional, mainly. So, and in our approach, and even in Vedas, in five-body system, okay, and there is true self, which everybody has actually. So if somebody will have that, you don't have this level at all, you have to come to my course and then you will get it. It's not true because everybody have it. You cannot, and so everybody has all those. And now about exercises. For example, if the main problem in Western world is if we have exercises towards mentality, knowing that this intellect and mental part is together and the same thing, then you cannot really fix it, because this needs different approach. There are different techniques to one and different techniques to other. So if you're looking as engineer, then if I have some tool, let's say drill, but I want to connect some things, then I cannot do it with drill only. I need different tools, and there are different tools for mental level, and there are different techniques for intellect level. So have you attended Ingvar's lectures here? Anybody? Not yet? Okay, some. So Ingvar just explained all this and gave some like overview about everything here, and talking about this, as at least I heard in some lectures. Then there was a lecture yesterday here. Have you attended? Helena was here. Helena is teaching the same system, and she was mainly talking about emotions. Was it so? Yes. And today I will talk about this difference. So we will make techniques about mentality, and this gives a possibility to view on that selection like different. If we have time, we can do other things too, but let's see. So do you have any questions? This was introduction, so now we're going in.
Can I take a picture of it?
Yes, everything here is for spreading. I have some videos in YouTube like 22 years old, and then people commenting them, but then I was idiot. There are like 5 long videos how I like big boss Ville is explaining, oh, I never made mistakes. No. No. I can avoid mistakes. This is my like strength. Bullshit.
I guess before you dive into the separation between mental and intellectual exactly, could you maybe frame the...
Yeah, actually, I'm practical guy, so now we start to go to exercises, and through those exercises, I assure you that at 1 o'clock the picture will be clear. So we go step by step. If I talk about it, then when we're talking, we're using what level? Mental level. So my mental part and your mental part, like try to like ask and describe something which is above them. It's not possible. That's why actually if you read any book about spiritual things, then usually they say that this level here, or God, or whatever, or the experience, they are not describable. Why? This easy answer is that my experience and your experience from the same event can be the same. But if we start to describe it to others, we have to use mentality, we have to use language and your own mentality, and this is filter. It's filtering the experience. And then if you describe the event, and I describe the event, and we see that those should be like different events, because this is not the same. Sometimes it's similar, but sometimes it's completely different. So whatever happens in other, like even with energies, emotional level, then if you start to explain it, be clear that and know that you're using your mentality, which is always limited. There is no language without mentality. So we have to use it to communicate with others. So mentality is not our enemy. But the problem is it's like let's say it's like our lost friend. friend who sometimes is together with us, but sometimes like living his own life. As I said, so there's one like 6-body system where true self is splitted. Yes, I explained it. There's another one, for example, if you really like approach of karma, then just know that there is 6-body system where mental is splitted. So karma body is between mental and intellect. Again, so this is the same system, but just in approach of art of conscious change, we don't touch karma. It's not just for that system. Of course, this is important, but we can, if we time, we can go there after. So there is like 8-body system I have seen. Again, there is split. The true self is split even more. Mental is in 2. Here is 1 even between. But for techniques and for everyday life, this is not practical. It's not practical. In Chinese medical or this Chinese medicine, have you heard they use what kind of system? How many bodies they have? Mainly 3. But again, this is not conflict because the aim is to cure physical body. So they use physical body and they put these even together. So your physical plane, energy plane, and true self. Again, no conflict. Not that no 3-body system is wrong, there is only 5-body system. No, they are all the same. They are all coming from the same source. So there is absolutely no any conflict. Just what is the target? So target in art of conscious change is to help and support people's like everyday life. And for that, 5-body system is enough. Who want to go deeply to the karma, then add 1 which is together with mentality. There are even techniques for that. Not in our system, but you can find them and find teachers if you want. If you're only dedicated to this one, true self, like doing bhakti yoga, for example, where all other planes are not so important, then again, it's very important to make this level really precise, and then you found that there are levels inside and there is description about it. But for us, right now, it's not important. Is that clear? Or do you have any questions? So, yeah?
So this is 5-body system?
Yes, this is 5-body system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And academic system saying that we have, actually academic view in Western world is 3-body system. Physical, emotional, and then mental part. They put them together and say that there's big confusion about true self because, you know, even who are in scientific world, who are dealing with true self? Brain scientist. Only. Yes, neuroscientist. But brain is what body here? Physical body. And this is quite interesting that like in 70s, all brain scientists said that no, this is only physical. But now they're splitted. There are, I could say like there is 50%. So 50% of them saying that brain is so clever physical kind of body that gives us illusion about true self. So this is kind of like function of physical side only. And this is like in 70s there were like 100% of scientists were thinking this way. But there is already like almost half of scientists went over that and saying that we don't know, but there is something else. There is something else outside of or in some other level what we cannot measure, which influences all the processes there. So of course there are chemical processes, of course there is electrical process in brain, but there is something more. So this is really interesting. If we look on history, there was another change happened in 76 around where quant particle scientists like split it. Like some of them started to believe in God. Why? Because they found some physical laws which were designed. It cannot happen that it just happened that this world, the world of small particles is existing this way just by happening. It's interesting. So let's monitor them forward. So it's really nice that they are going this way, because then there are scientists who understand that we don't have tools to measure it. Because the biggest problem with scientists is that they want to measure it, everything. And if they cannot measure, then they say that this is not existing. But every person knows that you have emotion, and you think that, yeah, they're measuring your emotional level. No, they're measuring it from physical body only. And in some person, like emotion is influencing the physical body much more than other person. So it's really inaccurate. If you go to light test in your life once, so if you remind me, I can teach you one technique. So this light test will not work on you, because they measure it from physical body. It's really easy to cheat, really easy. Okay, let's go forward. So this is 5-body system, and we are talking about. So this is the lecture, and mainly by difference, what is between mental and intellectual. So after today's lecture at 1 o'clock, I hope that if somebody will tell that this person is really intellectual, or his IQ is really high, or he has good intellect, then now at 1 o'clock you should have clarity that you ask more that what exactly do you mean? Because usually those things are used to describe people's mentality. IQ is measuring what? 70–80% of mentality. But there is intellect as well. And this is, again, cannot be measured. Actually, even mentality cannot be measured directly without like questions and answers. So let's, just to make sure that we make the right difference, then let's do one exercise for physical body, one exercise for vital body, so we all feel the difference, and then go fully on mental level, okay? So the physical is really easy. So now take this, let's say, comfortable position. If you go to some lecture or some teacher who's saying that for meditation you need this really like complicated asana and that your fingers have to be in some certain way, then this is not correct. Most meditation and most exercise need that your physical body is not influencing or actually disturbing you. So you should have comfort sitting or comfort. If you don't sit on the floor, use chair. If in chair is not good, change the chair, but just use the position what is comforting for you. And today, all those positions, all those exercises we do just this easy comfort way. And I just say what is the most comfort sitting for most people, if the chair design is correct, is that your legs are both flat on the floor. So this is actually not good, because after 10 minutes, here this pressure will actually say, the physical body will say, hello, do something. I want to change something. Change your legs. But this way it's better. And your back, if you are really like yogi, you can sit like this, okay. But if you're not, then just relax. Because designer had used many hours to make this 5% angle there to support your back. So this is, for most people, it's okay. Not that, no, I'm yoga. But after like 3 minutes already, your back is saying that, oh, I want to stand or move. No, I'm not moving. But now you're not doing this exercise anymore, right? This is already your internal fight is going on. So just relax, but not like this, of course. Because again, you can try. After like 3 minutes, the body will say that, change something. So this is the best way if the chair is correct. And hands, for most people, it's like this is the best. Open laps here, not any mudras, not needed here, because this is really like specific thing that will not support it here. And only those people who are really sensitive. I don't see that anybody here is sensitive, but maybe two. two of you. I will not tell who. But if you are like, this guy is your colleague coming to meet you, and you see that there is new kind of clothes on it. And then there are some people who, oh, can I touch it? And oh, this is really, oh, what kind of texture? And you think, oh, okay, this is only glove, what he's talking about. So these kind of people who like to touch everything. Do you know some? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then for those there is exception. Put your hands like this. So you're sitting, everything else is same, but hands are like this. Why? Because here there are like 200 times more sensors than this side. And if you are very sensitive, then you're sitting, concentrating, and breathing. So breathing is minimal movement to the body, and actually your hands are moving together with it a bit. So actually this person feels like feeling all the time the signals what are coming here. And this is disturbing. So then you put your hands like this. If you are not certain, try. Like do one exercise like this, one exercise like this, and you are like, if you are like Estonian, then you feel no difference. Typical Estonian. And the other thing is that as we used to get 70-80% of influence through eyes, then for concentration, better always is to have eyes shut. And if you read some books where no real concentration gurus are doing it with open eyes, yes, correct, but this is if you are already guru, or you have experienced it like and done it for maybe 20 years, then you can avoid even the new information coming in here, yeah, and you can keep your attention in one point. So yes, there is really high exercise where you put one small tiny point on the wall and sit and staring this. But this is not for beginners. This is like 10, 20 years exercise after that. If you do it like from beginning, it's illusion. It doesn't need to be done. And here with eyes, only exception is if you, all those exercises you can teach to your family or tell your family. And you know, the children in some age, usually where they go to first school, yeah, like 6, 7 years old, then they have like a bit higher alert to the darkness. Have you heard or noticed? Darkness. They want that you keep light at the night. So it's like 1 year, maybe half year period. So for those children, it's better to do all exercises open eyes, because sometimes if they close the eyes, it will be darkness, and this is actually emotions will raise, and again, it will not benefit or support the technique. And there are some really emotional people who have some periods in life. I don't see that anybody here is in that position, but that every time this person close eyes, the demon's coming. So this is the same. Then for those person, even adults, they should do all concentration techniques open eyes. Otherwise, they will do no any technique, only looking at the demons. So they should be open eyes. So take your normal concentration position, what I just described. Now you know that. So it should be comfortable. And close your eyes. And this is exercise about physical body. So concentrate on your right leg, on knee. And find on the outer side of your knee some places where your cloth is touching your body. Or is it dress or what? If it's not on the knee, then maybe move 5, eyes closed please, 5-10 centimeters to find the spot you feel. Right knee, on top of that, on outer side. Have you found it? Knock slowly to give me some feedback, but keep your eyes closed. You found it? Where there is sense of whatever material you have, your trousers or dress. Everybody? Good. Now go slowly to the under your knee. And maybe there is this chair like edge, Maybe there are some clothes as well. Find some other place where there is, again, sense of physical body or something. Maybe this is like some jump you made yesterday and even the muscle or something there is making some feeling. But find the physical feeling on the knee other side and differentiate that this is different than first one. It's not exactly the same. Now let's move down, right leg, inside of leg, move down, where your lap is. And find one place on the lap where you feel pressure. If your legs are the way I described, then you feel pressure from floor. Actually, physically, this is your leg pressure to the floor, but let it be. Find the point or area where you feel pressure. Have you found it? Now go to the right toe. The biggest one. And find place below that where you feel pressure, but don't move it. Don't move it. Keep as it is and find the place where you feel something in your physical body. There is little tiny pressure because it's on the floor. Now let's go to your neck. Go to your neck and find the place on your neck where you feel pressure of something. It can be shirt, collar. It can be something hanging on your neck. Maybe this is even this delegate's flyer, holder, maybe some jewelry. But find some place on your neck what you feel, where is tiny touch from clothes or whatever to your neck. Found it? And now, once again, look in your body. What do you feel more? Go inside where your lungs are. Can you feel your heart? Can you find some pressure? Like there are some places in your torso which are more like pressured or more tight, a bit more tight than others. Maybe feeling even tension what gets on the back because your hands don't move, so some people get tension there. But these are all sensations of physical body. And now keep your eyes shut. Just monitor, and let's take the first look on 5-body system. So how you feel your physical body right now, just recall it or remember it. How you feel your emotions. Are they really active right now? This energy inside, as you name emotions, or they are more calm? How you see your mentality? What about thoughts? Are they really active? Oh, what I'm doing here, what kind of exercise is it? I'm tired already. Will there be any more interesting stuff here or not? Then I will leave. Or they are calm. They are shouting or they are just really low voice, if there are any. Just monitor. And you can open your eyes. This was like really easy exercise. We were like, we call it scanning of body. Have you any contact with mindfulness? Possibly many have. This is one technique mindfulness using as well, and we are using as well. This is a really good exercise. It's actually, one is that you're learning your physical body sensations. So signals what physical body gives you. Because it's very important when we go to emotions that we make the difference. And second thing is, what happened to physical body? We did it only like 3.5 minutes. What happened to the physical body? Did it get more tensed or tired, or was it like more relaxed? Relaxed. What happened to emotions? were they like really like more powerful? No, I cannot be already still, I want to do something. Or were they calm too, or calmer too? Calmer. Yeah, but going down, maybe like this, but went down. What happened to the thoughts or mental body, mental level? Calming too. So that's why mindfulness exercises are really beautiful. It's easy exercise. You're doing exercise with your scanning of physical body only like 3 minutes enough, and already your physical body will be better, your emotional body will more calm, and even mental body will be more calm. So it's really good exercise, but this is only physical body. It's interesting that that in like in normal world, one exercise, if you do your like biceps training, only bicep is growing, right? Not your mentality, or you are not getting more intelligent. But in that kind of exercises, there is no exercise in your interior world, or kind of like, so there are no exercises which are doing only one thing. Always there are at least 2 benefits. And in that exercise, actually, there is one benefit is that physical body was relaxing, another is emotional body was relaxing. Third, that your mental body was relaxing, or actually calming. But the 4th exercise was that you learned to keep your attention in one place. Did you feel the power which wanted to take it away? It wasn't easy to, it could be easy that I just say that, oh, okay, I look only right foot. But actually, if you monitored correctly, you saw that your attention went to the thought that, what kind of exercise is it? Okay, I do it. So one thought, another thought, and then back to exercise. So already like 3 moves. Somebody monitored even emotions, but we had to monitor only this physical body. So attention like jumped from one object to another inside of you. But you always took them back to the exercise. And this force is like this biceps. This means that even 5th thing happened. You tried, you started to actually make your will force better to keep your attention in one place. And like great yogis said, if the person can keep your attention in one object, as long as he decided, he is liberated. It seems silly, but actually it is. Can you stare on one point, not looking on your thought, hearing your thoughts, not having any emotion, and not hearing those children there, just keeping it one point? It's not so possible. Of course you will liberate it if you decide that you will do it in 2 hours, and you do it 2 hours, and there is no other world. So actually this sentence is correct, but this is not the easiest exercise to start. But this physical scanning is, so if you want to write it down, it's like kind of like the number 1 exercise what usually they do in mindfulness trainings. With children, if you do it, you have to add movement, because they will not sit so long. So for them it's a bit different. Okay, let's go one more example before mentality to about emotional level. So take your position again, close your eyes, and now your attention is in your torso. Open your eyes. So let's define torso. Torso is no head, no hands, no legs. So your torso is starting here where you sit till here. So your attention should be like you're monitoring this side, and just monitoring and looking, is there happening something? I say something and you just monitor here, hearing what I'm saying and looking, is there anything changing here? Do you feel anything here? Because I will not come and push here like making it hurt and, oh yes, he touched me. I just say something, you hear, and then something happens. Let's try it. Close your eyes, and your attention is in your torso. Just be alert like security guy, looking that is something coming, something raising or not. Just easily, not too tight. I love what's happening here. I really love it. No, I love that person. This person I really love. You can see even the picture of that person who you love. But you should monitor not the picture, but what you feel inside your torso. I really love that person. I really love that person. And just differentiate, do you feel something? And where? Don't show me, it doesn't matter right now. But just find it. Where do you feel something? Next. I don't like it at all. This I don't like at all. I want to leave. I don't like it at all. Now you feel something else in different place. Maybe pictures coming, it doesn't matter right now. Maybe thoughts coming, but you're monitoring your torso only. Next one. Now you show with your hand. You put your hand around where you feel something. Be ready? I don't like this person. This person I can hate. Maybe I even hate him or her. I hate this person. Show me with your hand. Eyes shut where you feel something. There was little tiny change maybe because this person is not here, hopefully. Next one, I want to change my life. I know already for a long time that I have to make changes in my life. And now show me where you feel something. This is my favorite food. I have tried many different, but this is my favorite food. Now this picture and smell and everything is coming, but where you feel it, show me with the hand. Approximately. Next one. This thing I will do immediately. Okay, maybe not today, but when I get back home, I will get all my strength together and I start to do it because I have waited so long time. Now I do it. Now I will start. Okay, you can open your eyes. So you felt something. Was I there touching you? No, something moved, right? In Estonian groups, usually like if you're ordinary Estonian men, then there are like 30% of men don't feel anything. And usually all over the world, the education is that men don't cry, men should not feel anything. And this is the reason why usually men feel emotions less, and they have been less emotional too. And some exceptions, some women too. But most of you felt something, yes? With some emotions it's like clear, something here like moved and growing. In some emotions, maybe there was something. This is enough. This is already your internal like sensor working. This is enough. So to monitor emotions, you should exclude your thinking that this doubt you have in your mind that no, this is too tiny, it's not emotion. If you already like, maybe something there, this is it already. And then you learn to monitor them better and better. And the aim with emotions is that you should find the emotion the earliest moment, where there is like tiny kind of impulse. Because usually the sensitive people, they use, if, for example, let's take anger. If you're angry, then if everybody else will see it, you're already like 100% full of it, right? But anger, usually you feel it from here, but it can start even lower because the anger is again mental naming, and anger for one person can be one energy, for another is completely different. So it can start from here, but it can start from here too. And usually those like strong emotions, they are rising. So if you monitor the impulses somewhere in center and it's growing, and when it's over here, then you 100% and you're flicking and you're doing something, and then after a few minutes you like say sorry and try to fix it. So there is like different levels of emotion. So this exercise to monitor them in everyday life is very important. That the aim is that you will find emotion where there is tiniest, there is like impulse. This lecture is not about emotions, but really quickly, the most important thing is that this impulse has information. This is your education. This is your like teaching. Actually, like somebody showing you that this person makes you angry. Do something about it. This is your learning process. Is it like normal that you avoid this person or this kind of person and you try to do that you never meet this person again? No. You have to do something here that this person will not make you angry anymore. So this first impulse is information. That your biggest friend, let's say life, I don't know, some are religions, some not, but let's say life. The life is showing that this kind of a person can make you angry. And if you're clever, then you understand that this is normal. This is not normal. You have to learn something, you take this lesson and then go forward. And if you actually took this lesson, then this kind of person will not appear in your life anymore. Never. Or ever. This is an interesting thing. But again, please monitor your life, then you understand it. Otherwise, it's just kind of mental discussion here. So the first impulse of emotion is important. But everything else, now it's growing, taking more and more your energy, not my or others or from plants or from earth. It's your life energy, and then raises and then puts you like in position where you're making yourself silly, and nobody wants to spend time with you anymore in those situations. And that's why we actually address emotions, to cut this energy, what is lost there. But you have to keep this the first moment, and this exercise is very good. So you can do this exercise like looking film, seeing what emotions are raising and how they're raising, so you can monitor looking at the film. Or like the better is that you monitor all the time. For example, right now, there are emotions right now. There are some, like before 1 o'clock there will be frustration, I'm sure, in some people. Okay, let's go to mental side. Now, in mental and intellect, the biggest, let's say, the definition could be that this is like thinking process where we have lower part, which is mental, and higher part, which is intellect. And lower part has his techniques and higher part has his. And today we are talking about this lower part. And good thing is about lower part is that if you calm down lower part, the higher part will start to be active itself. Clever guys have said that it's like being in rock concert, like really, I don't know, let's say Rammstein. Do you know Rammstein?
Yeah.
So Rammstein rock concert together with your best friend. And your best friend is trying to tell you something. This is intellect. But it's too loud. And this is mentality. So you have too much thoughts, and it's not possible. Even if you see your friend, biggest friend, your intellect is talking to you, you cannot hear it. So you have to get out of this Rammstein and to situation where there's quietness. This quiet or less volume. And then you start to hear. And what is intellect? Intellect is intuition. Intellect is inspiration. Intellect is insights. There is like many examples about that in Einstein, like descriptions. He had even techniques to get the mentality down and intellect up. So these are the main like functions. And with intuition, this is extra complicated, because if you don't have experience, or if people usually don't have education about them, then some people think that intuition is physical. Yes, if you ignore intuition, then intuition will be so strong that the physical body will give you a signal. But intuition is actually here. but it draws emotions and shows in physical. So it's really silly for yourself, for scientists maybe from physical body because they don't have senses, but you have senses. You should learn your intuition to hear your intuition that level. But if you cannot, then you feel on that level and it can be in that level. But here there is confusion because here can be in emotional level, there could be many others, other energies which are confusing this intuition. And the biggest usual what happens with people is if there is even intuition impulse, then here is mental side. So if here intuition comes, takes a bit more energy, and this even physical body is reacting, then what's happening usually, especially men? Mental comment will come. No. I feel, oh no. No. Because there is no kind of logic explanation that I have some feeling that I should not do that. I like that. I do. This is mental side. So, but let's go to mental side. Why I say that this is lower? Let's make one exercise. I give you, close your eyes. I give you, you should be completely free on your mental process. I give you a starting point. I say one word. And then I stop you 1 moment. And then so you do nothing, just monitoring your thoughts. Nothing else than monitoring your thoughts. Really easy. Just monitor your thoughts, but not very tightly. Let them just flow as they go. You ready? Close your eyes. Dog. Dog. Wow, wow. And be free to think whatever. Stop. Now, what was the last thought you had? Please, tell me. Open your eyes.
Best friend.
Flying.
Best friend.
Flying.
Flying. So, best friend, there is connection, logic connection with dog? Yes, there is. Flying, is there any logic connection? No. What you had?
I had also a dog.
Yeah, you started with dog, but what you had when I said stop?
I went to a friend, the dog of the friend.
Okay, dog of the friend. Okay, connected. What other examples are there?
A dog, a different dog, and then back to another dog.
So, what the point is, I wanted to show you what is the normal mental process. And usually we think that we think about some subject and we want to keep the thinking process on that trail. But what happens is what happened right now. The normal thinking is not logical but analogical. So if you take flying, you go once.
Understanding, because I understood dog and then I understood free and then I saw like an eagle flying. So I think it's just.
But maybe in your subconscious there is some connection between them. But usually if you start to think, then your thinking process goes. Do you have any good examples which was really far from dog? Dead. East, yes. So again, there is no connection directly. But if you go back from dead, what was the thought before last one? So there is no connection too, but usually you find some connection in your like memory. So you started with dog, it was like start position, now you jumped with analog, maybe same color which your dog was or your favorite dog is, to the color, and then car of that color, and then the driver, the last one you saw in that car, and then this driver, similar person to that driver or same nation of that driver. You understand me? This is analog process. But usually we have to do, if you want to solve something, you should use logical process of thinking. And people don't make any difference usually. So they try to be logical, but they, like after a while, the thoughts are going somewhere else. So this is one example of your normal mentality. If you don't do anything, then it goes away, right? Good example is the only way I would say that you should do it when you read nice books. Have you read a book in the way that you're reading the book, and then one moment you're like, understanding that, okay, this I wasn't here. And you go back a few lines. No, this I wasn't here either. You go back one page, maybe even 2 pages, and you find that, yes, here I was already. So you start again reading from there. This is good example of your normal relaxed mentality, that your mentality took everything in, and now on analog principle went away. But the eyes were reading, but not taking in. And even you like turned pages, but you got nothing in. There's nothing in your memory about it, because your attention was about thinking about whatever then. And if you read fiction or nice books, then it's normal, it's good. It's good for your fantasy, good for your health. But if you go to work and try to fix something, or in your society fix something, then this kind of thinking is not useful. Another, you had question?
I had a
No.
question.
Yes?
Are you trying to say that normal thinking is reflexive or automatic, that
Absolutely.
it's not really under control?
Absolutely.
That it just occurs?
I would say not curse. This is our friend, which should be friend all the time and working together with us. But this is our friend who works together with us only sometimes. And usually we even don't have technique to invite him to work together with us. So we just monitor what is these, and then sometimes take something useful. My description is a 5-body system that our physical body is like a car. Let's say electric car, it's easier. So it's the body of car, physical body of car. Then emotional level of person is the wires, battery, engine, all this where energy is flowing from the battery to the engine to make the car moving. Yeah? Then there is mentality, is who? Driver. He decides to go right or left, to push this conditioner in and out, or the gear, or back or forward, to drive at all or not to drive. This is your taxi driver, his mentality. And you, together with intellect, you are president. You know the president is not driving the car, it's sitting on back seat. But you are sleeping there. You are sleeping or just like being somewhere, so the taxi driver is making all the decisions. And now the question is how to start to teach taxi driver to listen to your suggestions or your rules. And sometimes he listens, but sometimes he's going on your way. For example, if you have about this lecture here, you have already some kind of really tight kind of approach. No, this is not like that. This is your taxi driver, I'm sorry. But this is your taxi driver saying that, no, I have read like 3 books and I have been so many lectures already. For me, this is clear. And now this is something different. No, this is not like this. This is like I knew before. This is your taxi driver talking. If you awake where the president seat is, then you just open. You look, you try, and if you see that this is working, then you start to work with that. You change your tools. You take some tool like additionally to make your life better or easier. So let's say, like liberation, this is really like a kind of esoteric description, but I as engineer would say that the liberation is that the president is awake all the time and taxi driver drives where president says. This is like enlightenment and liberation in my definition of engineer. And you have been on backseat all the time. There's no question that somebody should appear on backseat. No, you are there. But you are conscious and aware just moments every day. Right now, most of you are. But some processes where you just start to sleep again or getting lazy and then looking at taxi drivers doing that and talking, saying that, yes, this is it. No, this is not. This I like, this I don't like. Let's go to right, let's go to left. Like talking all the time, like taxi drivers usually are. Have you used taxi? Some taxi drivers asking, can I talk to you? But some in New York, they're talking all the time. And even if you said that, no, I want to do my things, they're still talking. So next test about taxi drivers. Now eyes open. Let's see the quality of taxi driver or mentality. How taxi driver is actually working with you. So really good exercise, really easy. You look 2 seconds, one object, and then you move your awareness to the new one. And just monitor what your thinking process or taxi driver is doing. So, and the object should be small. Like for you, this hole here, not this slide, but this hole should be tiny, not too much information. If you look at me, then maybe from that distance my watch is okay. Or this corner of that handle here, you understand, small. So start to do it by yourself. 2 seconds is enough, one object. So you look this. And monitoring all the time. So you are just moving your eyes, or together with your body if you would like, and then monitor what is your thinking doing. Let's do it. What is happening inside of your mind when you lay your awareness on object? To lay your awareness on that object you decided yourself. But what's happening after that? And there is something you didn't decide yourself. What it is? What's happening inside of your head? Have you found it? Do you want comment? Have you found it? What's happening? You looked at the hole, and now immediately something happens. Say it.
When I focus on a small object, I feel that the attention is actually kind of constrained. You feel like...
Yes, of course, but what something happens before that feeling? Can you identify how it's happening? You try to identify what it is, how it's happening, how you're getting the information what it is.
It's comparing with the information.
Let's do it all together. In my hand, right hand, there is nothing. There is something. In future, I will have city that there is nothing, but right now there is something. So I will show it to you, and if I open the hand, monitor what's happening when you're getting the information. From where you're getting the information, what it is. You ready? Everybody? Already clear? From where it came? What it is? Do you know what it is? From where it came?
You picked it up.
No. Yes, whatever it is. How you knew what it is? What it is?
Recognize it.
Yeah, recognize. How this recognition happened?
Memory.
Available. How it came out?
I analyzed it. The color, the form.
Okay, be ready. Now there are two different colors, and you don't know which one I opened, yeah? So you don't know the color, you will see. How you will get the information, what color it is, the cap of that pencil. You ready? Yeah. You monitor your mentality or mental side, inside of head, what's happening? Clear, red. From where this red came? Inside of you, right? Before I said red, correct?
Yes.
And how?
Mind says red, it comes.
Mind said to you.
No, it's before the mind says red, you already know.
Yes, but then mind says. Once again, so let's make 3 different colors. So the proposition is that the mind says, you know before, but then mind says that this is this color. Do you agree or not? Let's try. Is it same for everybody? Ready? Black. First, it was clear that this is black, and then what happened? Your mind said black. Was it so? Once again, it should be really clear, because otherwise we will not teach or learn anything to do with mentality. Yeah, question?
Can it be that what doesn't say anything?
Yeah, then there are 2 possibilities, 3 actually. one, that this voice, you haven't like learned to hear it all the time, but this doesn't mean that you don't act by that voice. This is the most like probable. Second is medical problem, and third is that you are already liberated. So you choose one of those three. So the voice, let's do it once again. So can you find inside of your head the guy or girl who's saying, this is your taxi driver saying what color it is? Ready? So did you notice that inside of your head there was red? Yes, somebody said red. Everybody?
Yes, I heard it.
This is really important once again. It can be really like
Does it have to be a word, or do I?
no, it's voice
Yes.
or word. How you see it? Well, let's do it. One more. Is it voice, or is it label, or is it picture, or is it kind of, I don't know, metaphysical description of color, chemical description? One moment. Ready? Voice. Voice. Everybody? This is really important. So, sorry, there are exceptions. We can talk after. But so most of you, who understood that there was voice inside of your head said this is blue? Raise your hands. This is normal. So this is your taxi driver. You put attention here because we agreed to do so, and your taxi driver said, blue, I know. But you knew before.
I knew before.
Yes, that's why the taxi driver is really low. He doesn't shout, doesn't need to shout it. But let him shout it. So after you put your awareness on some object, something inside of you putting label on that and saying it by voice. Do you agree? Yes. By voice. Now it's $1 million question. Whose voice is it? Whose voice is it? Are you ready? Let's make it practically clear, 100%. With whose voice now this color? Actually, this voice is already at, oh, okay, there was black 2 times, red 2 times, blue once, so I think it will be blue. It's already talking there. But with whose voice now? Ready? Blue. Yeah, oh, I have another CD. So, whose voice was it? Mine. Was it? It was yours, your voice.
No, it was mine.
So, it's a very important discovery. Always you put the attention in some object, your taxi driver says what it is. With your voice. And now, why we are surprised that most world is like identified by mentality? Because our taxi driver is talking on our name with our voice. This is the problem. So normal people cannot differentiate that is taxi driver talking or me talking. And that, as they don't know that president is not talking actually. It's knowing, president knowing and making decisions, and only taxi driver is talking. Then this is like big problem. So you cannot approach or address mental mental problems, mental kind of challenges before this is made clear 100%. That inside of every normal acting person there is mentality who is talking with your voice. And I promised to Estonia and my students that in future I will design a kind of exercise that I could change this voice like forcefully to Donald Trump voice, for example. And then actually the problem is over, because do you go everywhere where Donald Trump is saying? Or do you take everything what he said that, oh, this is it, you take like 100% true? No, right? You have different opinion. But the guy who's talking with your voice inside of you, with him you agree all the time. because most people even don't know that there is like possibility to be separate from him. And this is the biggest discovery of, or the biggest step to human being can do to for interior world. And after that, all those other exercises, they are really, really easy. So I suggest you to try from that easy step, to find that somebody inside of you always like pushing you with it, your voice, that this is good, this is bad, this I like, this is nice, this I want, this I don't want, this I don't like. So always like commenting, and sometimes you like, oh, I have to do it. You do some things you don't like, right, in your life? So sometimes you can be against it, but sometimes you are like going like this. So mentality says that go there, and you even don't know why, because the taxi driver is driving you there. But consciously you maybe want to stand, maybe you want to go other direction, until you don't do different or differentiate it, how he is driving or she is driving you or your life. Actually, she or he don't have gender, so taxi drivers are, yeah, just different voice. And yes, transsexuals. But one thing more is that what is important, that taxi drivers should become your friend. So the description of taxi driver in that sense is too aggressive, that actually the aim is to do the way that taxi driver is like waiting, looking always to you what you want to do. Not even asking, but being like ready for you all the time. Sometimes it is in your life, probably.
You should also look forward.
Yeah, of course, because he's driving, but always like ready to hear where you want to drive, what kind of temperature you want inside of car, should be car repaired or not. Not his decision that my body should be like bodybuilder or like in magazines. This is taxi driver. The president doesn't care. For president, the car is just to get from point A to point B. And if you have many children, then car should be bigger. If you don't have children, it can be smaller. You can ride a bicycle or whatever, but not look your car like your identity. So I have this color is very important, otherwise I will not buy this car if the color is not right. This is taxi driver. For president, everything is really practical, really easy. Every time when you have to choose, taxi driver has opinion 100%. This is wrong, you should have to choose it. But if you take like step back and look as president, you can see that sometimes you should take what taxi driver is saying, sometimes not. If taxi driver is educated about healthy food, you can listen to taxi driver. But if there will be new theory about being vegetarian or not vegetarian, do you know that scientifically there is no proof why some people can be vegans, why some raw eaters, why some people have to eat meat. There is still no scientific proof. They are just theories. And it's clear that it's not the same for everybody. Not all people can be vegetarians. This is clear. I have tried it. I actually tried to be not vegetarian. So there are different people. And if you listen only taxi drivers, this is easy. Like from one kind of theory to another one, I try this and this and this. And usually it's always taxi driver, if you don't monitor yourself. But as time is over, I want to... Do you have 10 minutes? Because lunch, again, you look 5-body system. So what is your physical body saying? Is it starving? Not much, yes. But what is your emotion saying about lunch? Yes. Oh, I hope...
Soon.
Yes. Actually, emotion is not saying anything, but actually this is feeling, yeah? And what is your mentality saying? Oh, it should be time already, and yes, it's good, it's nice to eat. Of course, I will, maybe he has some plan to like cut lunch out. No, this is not good. So this is taxi driver. But actually, it's okay. So 10 minutes more. I have 2 more techniques. One is to shut taxi driver down. And one is to learn it like even more. So sometimes especially me as business person, then usually my taxi driver like working against me on those nights when I go to bed, this important day tomorrow, I have meeting in the morning and I have to sleep like 7 hours, but I get to bed like early, 11, and then I lay there, look, my physical body is like relaxed, no emotions, but here is like, what happens tomorrow, this is very important. Taxi driver is like, Ville, how you can sleep? Because it's too, maybe you can like think other ways, maybe don't be late to the meeting, whatever comments there are. And then I look on watch that this is 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. But still, it's like going on and you can't do nothing. Have you this kind of experience? So in that sense, it's you can do scanning of physical body. It can help, but sometimes it's not helping. Ingvar did the same exercise in big tent, but I have this is like for those who have practiced already, but I have the version which works for everybody, which is like tougher. And there is scientific even background why it works. So let's do it. Take a normal position. And this is silencing the taxi driver technique. So first, I show how to do it. We're working with physical body with the voice center here. It's like vocal cord. This is like 3 centimeters from here or 5. But we don't have to know exactly where it is. So because we don't know exactly where it is, then what we do, we get, you don't do it, but I will show, yeah? You get like really tension to that, all that area, which is between your shoulders and below your chin and higher up your heart. And it feels like this is relaxed, but if I do it, then it's like, it's going down, and if I'm talking, then this should be like this. You understand, yeah? So all this 3D is all like kept together. And relax is like this. So we do it for 5 seconds only. So the exercise I just show you, it's you do it close eyes, but I breathe in and hold. And if you would try to talk, it should sound like this, and holding, 4, and relaxing. Don't do it yet. Easy. So because we don't know where the vocal cord is, we're doing just a bigger area, just in case that the vocal cord area should be included anyway. And together with breathing, because then if you, some people, if you keep it tense and breathe, then you start to relax already. So, and 5 seconds. And you do it in with eyes closed. So first, close your eyes. You're breathing normally now. And please monitor your thoughts just for a few seconds. That what is the level of thoughts? Are they really intensive or whatever they are? Just remember it, how it is today, right now. The comment system there with your voice in your head. Okay, and now breathe deeply in and hold all that area. Hold really strongly. Hold 2 seconds more and relax. Eyes closed. Now a few times breathe normally. Do nothing else. And now again breathe in deeper and tension to that area. All keeping it no. Be correct. 1 second more and relax. Eyes closed. Breathe normally. And one more time, breathe in deeply. And tension. And keep it. Keep it. Keep it. Keep it. And relax. Eyes closed. And now look what is happening with your thoughts. How active are they? How loudly taxi driver is talking? Is it louder than before? Is it more quiet than before? Maybe some people had it stopped fully. It's not talking to you anymore. You can open your eyes.
It's all gone.
All gone, zero.
Yeah.
But now it's back. When the thought came that I should comment it to Ville, he already wakened up. But before that, yes, there was period. Have you had your own personal experience that this is influencing? Actually, I don't have time to explain it scientifically, but this is the connection with physical body and mental body from the time we learned to talk as children. And then our parents one day said that, we said auto, out, car, cat, ow, around 1 year. And then the parents started to say, shh, you don't have to do it. I know that you know that this is car. You don't have to name it. So this naming or labeling went inside. It's your voice. That's why it's your voice there. The taxi driver took your voice because your labeling went your interior world. So if you I don't know, I think it's not good idea to influence education of children this way, that this is somebody else's voice, because they okay, no, this is not good idea. But anyway, it's interesting that it could be different. So that's why it's physically connected with mentality. And if we relax, the exercise you did is only physical, but the influence on mentality. So together with the relaxing after 5 seconds physical part of the vocal cords, the mentality went down as well. And that's why if you want to get scientific proof, then Google for researches about surgery of vocal cords, because doctors and they already 20 years ago understood that the professional singers usually have this kind of surgery here sometimes, and after that they should not listen to music, not singing but not listen to music, because they are professional and the taxi driver starts to sing inside. So the vocal cords start to vibrate a bit, really tiny. There is no voice coming out, but this is already making whatever infection or there. So vocal cords, physical body and mentality are connected. So second technique, the last one, is really high technique. It's from Buddhist monasteries. And I call it Buddhist numbering technique. It's really easy. You monitor your mentality while you have really easy task to say numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and wherever you monitor that there is thought, whatever thought, that bad exercise, then you go back to 0. So close your eyes, 1 number per second, you doing it yourself, and every time you discover label with your voice that then you go back to 0 and start from 1. Let's go. And I give a few examples. 1, 2, yes, 3, back to 1. Yes was already labeled. Close your eyes and try to do 1, 2, 3. Where others are. Back to 1. 1, 2, 3. Why Ville is disturbing? Back to 1. Okay, now I will not disturb you anymore. So now you do it. Every time thought comes with your voice, go back to 0. Start. Blessing, back to 1. Polite taxi driver. Okay, stop. What number you got? Free?
What about, because the numbers, I am creating the numbers and there is the
Creation of a number with voice is so easy task for taxi driver. So that's why the exercise is like that. In that exercise, you don't visualize numbers. No, like with banners, somebody's running one, a nice graffiti. No, should be with voice, because otherwise there is too much information. It should be silly task for taxi driver. Then the other thoughts are coming. Otherwise, if you like drawing the numbers all the time, then it says, oh, wow, I'm 100 already.
But
no, it's not.
There is a voice, 1, 2, 3.
No, this voice is okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. But there will be, because there's 1 second between two voices, then there is enough room for taxi driver to shout there, yes, 4, yes, 14. I don't believe that you get more than 3 or 4. If you got more than 10, then please find that some thoughts, taxi driver is not shouting all the time. Yes, 10. He's saying it, quite okay. We are going okay. So some comments are louder, some comments are really like, and for example, I show you body language. What was that? You understood what I showed? Who is that? President? This is taxi driver. This is a silent comment. So some comments are silent. Of course, there are abstract comments as, These are comments too. So if you go with that exercise deeper, then you should monitor even those, let's say, abstract comments which are, where is no word. And after that, even comments which are silent, because taxi driver is saying a lot with body position as well, like we do. So you just, this is kind of energy you feel, but this is really like high level. Usually you don't feel it at the beginning, but you hear the voice. And then first you hear loud voice, then you start to hear even the, like the swisering voice, and then you get better and better. And then you get these abstract comments, and if you get to monitor all of them, then you are like master of your taxi driver. Now the president is waking up all the time. And this should be at the end, it should be everyday life. So you hear, we don't have problem that, for example, you are there, you feel it so, yeah? We are not all one, right? You are there and others are here. So if others are saying something about something, this is normal. Sometimes you agree, sometimes you disagree. The target here is that inside of you is this taxi driver. And maybe he is even worse than most of people around you on that subject. His knowledge is really low on that subject, but he's talking still, right? And with your voice. So actually in many situations he made you really fool, because he made you express your knowledge about something you don't know anything, which is quite like, let's say, worse than others have. So you, in this way, with that Buddhist monk's technique, you start to monitor it like daily, and you understand. For example, somebody asking from you something, and already labels are coming from taxi driver. But you see that there is no label fitting the situation. And what to say? I don't know. I don't have enough information. But I ask you, do you like Trump? Taxi driver already said to you. But is it real in every situation? No. Have you met him? Do you know him personally, like personal practical experience? No. Just media. I don't know that. I don't say that Trump is good, but it can happen. I don't know. So in most questions you should say that you don't have enough information. But taxi driver is never saying it. Taxi driver, even if there is, I show you one example. Hopefully I have it here. There is one object in my bag. For those kind of cases I keep it here. Yes, it is. Which usually is not recognized easily. And look, you don't know what it is. But look what this taxi driver is doing. At least like 10 different things you will say about it. You ready? what is your taxi driver doing? Like this, greenish, I don't know. You feel it? How taxi driver is trying to like, I have to be first, I have to be first. You feel it?
Yes.
So this is taxi driver doing when you don't have enough information. But usually you say it out. This was tough object because it's really hard to. This is the business card holder. Some nanomaterial like gluing like. So, and now the last question is that how it's connected with your everyday life and team management and managing yourself. What the headline was. How it can be not this. Who is managing your team? Taxi driver mostly. Who is managing your life? Taxi driver again. Yes, you have your light moments where you awaken and when you make big change, then you push your taxi driver to take this new diet or new experience or new start to train. But usually you make this promise when Christmas time, and in mid of January it's over. Taxi driver takes over and this new decision is back where it is, like for the future. Sometimes we start to do that. So I hope you enjoyed it, or at least, actually I don't care. My taxi driver is taking it very importantly and he's liking it if you enjoy it, but myself, I don't care. I came here because people asked, so I hope that I could be useful and you don't think that this time was lost. And please be practical. If you want any change, you have to practice. Are there those tools, or you just got some hint about this different level and you find another tools, or you have your own tools already, start to use them. And not in yoga club or some like 2-3 times per week, 1 hour, but every day, daily life. This is real yoga. This is real like holy practice, spiritual practice, to do it every time, especially in tough times. Tough meeting, this is the place you have to practice. Not that, oh, I had kind of feeling and this evening I will look back to that situation and try to do something. No, here and now, only then you can influence yourself. So practically all the time, and then it's like your muscle. Your attention is better, your life is better, you lose less energy. You can do whatever. Your body will actually fix itself because you have more energy. Have you heard it? Scientists don't understand, but mindfulness practices are starting to fix the body because the energy went to the emotions and thought machine to keep this really active taxi driver up all the time. It's getting less and needing less, and this energy goes to where? The physical body. So physical body is self-fixing system actually. You cannot take energy out of that system because for your fiber, the system, this is the most important. This doesn't actually take any energy, but intellect a little bit, but mental taking a lot and emotional a lot. So if those two are taking too much energy, then they are taking it from physical body, from that energy which keeps physical body like healthy and struggling actually against viruses and fungus and everything, because they have the five body system too. And if you have everything corrected here, then they cannot just stick to you. So I hope you don't feel that your time was lost. And now let's agree our taxi driver and physical body that we need some.
Let's give the taxi driver
yes.
some dinner.
So thank you. And if you have any question, you can approach me.